Right, so you are going to build your very first PC. Well, at least I imagine that's why you clicked on this video. But anyway, congratulations. But wait, before you make any purchases or start your build, I want to give you guys a little bit of advice about building your first PC. What is cracking, everybody? My name is Matt Kraken, and today I'm hopefully going to drop a little bit of knowledge on you guys about building your first PC. Building PCs has never been more popular as it is right now. It's also never been as confusing as it is right now. Does that make sense at all? I don't know. As someone who's been building PCs since I was about 15 years old, it was a very nerve-wracking yet very exciting experience. But I could only imagine how exciting and nerve-wracking it would be if I decided to start my journey today. I've been building PCs for, like I said, roughly about 16 years now, and typically I would be able to keep up with all the latest SKUs and chipsets and all that jazz, but it seems like nowadays it's just gotten to be so many options. And I don't mean to turn this into a back in my day video, bought a Pentium 4 for a nickel, but anyway, moving on. So let's dive into my guide on what to do before buying or building your very first gaming PC. So let's get right into it and talk about the most exciting piece of hardware, at least for me, and I know a lot of other people, when it comes to building their first PC, and that's going to be your GPU, or also known as graphics card, whatever you want to call it. But one of the biggest misconceptions I see and hear a lot of the times is that you won't have a good gaming experience or a solid rad build if you don't have the best of the best of the best GPU. This is just not true. You don't need to have an RTX 2080 Ti or now the RTX 3090s that just released a couple days ago at the time of filming this video to have a solid gaming experience or a really dope build. Yes, if you do have deep pockets or a higher budget than most, then go out there and buy the top dog in gaming performance. But if you're balling on a budget a little bit like I am and most people who are just getting into building PCs, then it's totally fine to be rocking a 60 or 70 series RTX GPU. I do just fine on my RTX 2060 at 1080p 144Hz gaming. Which is going to kind of lead us into our next topic, and that's going to be stay in your lane. So bottlenecking is going to become a bigger problem as we introduce more parts or SKUs into the industry. So if you plan on getting that high-end RTX 3090, you better also plan on getting that high-end CPU. Because if you don't and you get a mid-range CPU, then your system is limited to that mid-range CPU. That's pretty much bottlenecking. It's very self-explanatory, but match high-end parts with other high-end parts and match mid-range parts with other mid-range parts. The moral of the story is balance your parts evenly with the budget. Another bottlenecking oversight I see a ton, and a lot of people don't think about this, is your monitor. Think about what kind of output you want your machine to have. You got plenty of options. You got 1080p, 2K, 4K, 60 Hz, 120 Hz, 144 Hz, all the way up to, I don't know, 365 Hz or something ridiculous that I can't afford. But think about those options and think about how much power you need to drive those options. I see a lot of people drop a fat amount of cash on a brand new build and spend all this money but skimp on their monitors. Or connect it to an old TV that they were playing their PlayStation 4 or their Xbox on, thinking that that TV is going to look any better on this $2,500 build. That's just not going to happen. I understand if you're waiting to buy a monitor, you buy your PC first, you want to hook it up to the TV in the meantime, by all means, do what you got to do. I guess the point I'm trying to make, guys, is that monitors can be bottlenecks as well. So if you're trying to output 4K gaming, stay in that lane and buy 4K gaming hardware. If you're just looking at game at 1080p 60, then stay in that lane and buy 1080p 60 gaming hardware. So let's talk a little bit about resources. So if you're trying to price and piece together your first PC, I highly recommend using a website called PCPartPicker.com. So PCPartPicker.com, what does it do? It gives you a blank parts list that you go and individually choose each part from their parts library. I'm saying the word part a lot, sorry. So you go into their parts library and you can sort it and filter it by PSU, power, RAM speed, hard drive size, all that good stuff. It filters out the pricing, tells you who has it in stock, and then you slowly add it to your parts list. And then at the very bottom, it shows you the final price of everything. And then the best part about it is you can save a list and then start a new list and compare those lists, compare prices, all that good stuff. Another handy tool I like to use is called Passmark.com. It is a benchmarking website that I mainly use for high-end CPUs and high-end GPUs. The advantage to this is, say you're struggling between picking an AMD or an Intel. So what you do is you choose that Team Red CPU and you choose that Team Blue CPU, and you compare the two and see where they fall on the list and see if this one is worth the price compared to this one. Simple as that. Same thing with GPUs. Say you want to compare the 3070 to the 3080. There you go. They got it all right there for you. Good to go. It is a very handy website. I've been using it for a very long time. Right, last topic, Windows 10. Don't buy Windows 10. Let me finish right away. If you need that extra $100 or so, then don't buy Windows 10 just yet. You can install Windows 10 for free straight from Microsoft's website. This isn't illegal or harmful to your computer in any way. Trust me, I've been doing this for a while. Microsoft gives you the download for free straight from their website. I'll even leave a link in the description below. All you're going to need to do this is have an 8GB flash drive, follow the instructions on Microsoft's website, or find one of the mini tutorials on YouTube. But there's a catch. After about a month, you will notice that you lose some basic functions to Windows. It's nothing serious. You'll still be able to boot the computer, still be able to use it. You're just losing some basic functions inside of Windows. And there is going to be a little watermark on the bottom right of the screen that says Activate Windows. It's not a huge deal. It bothers me personally, so I always like to get rid of it and actually purchase Windows when I have the means to do so. I highly recommend checking out websites like Kingwin or G2A. They're always selling heavily discounted Windows keys. And finally, have fun with your purchase. Don't be intimidated, and don't let anybody else intimidate you in the process of your build. It's gonna be a blast, you're gonna have fun, and it's most likely gonna be one of those things that you continue to do again and again and again. There's a reason people compare it to Lego. I want you to keep this in mind during your first build. Something may go wrong, but do not panic. 9 out of 10 times, it's an easy fix and something was just overlooked. Some common mistakes that I've seen happen to other people, as well as happen to me multiple times, have been the 24-pin or 8-pin connectors have not been plugged in all the way properly. RAM is in the wrong DIMM slots or not seated properly, as well as the GPU not being plugged in or seated properly. Make sure that power supply switch on the back is in the on position. Yes, I've done that and freaked out why I wasn't getting any power. One thing that's happened to me is I've had a sticky power button on the case. I ripped apart a whole build because the system kept rebooting due to the power button just being stuck. It was ridiculous. Moral of the story is, don't panic, stuff like this can happen. Reach out to helpful communities such as my Discord. I know there's plenty of other Discord communities out there. Helpful forums, helpful YouTube videos, and just have fun with it. Don't panic. And that's it for now, guys. Those were some tips that I feel could help you in your PC building endeavors. If you guys would like to comment below on some tips for new PC builders that maybe you've learned in the past, or you're more experienced than I am, then feel free to leave some comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Just a reminder, I stream on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. Feel free to drop in. If you got any questions about photo, video, motion graphics, graphic design, stream help, you guys get the picture. Stop in. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.